Hey yo, what is good, my legendary beats? It is your boy LilSauceLegend, aka Nate. It is 11:07 a.m., January 1st, 2026. Happy New Year, guys. But realistically, I don't really think that there is much significance to the new year. All it is just another day. What actually makes something new is your own choices that you decide to make. And with that being said, I'd like to take the time out to say thank you guys so much for being here with me on these yapping videos and liking my content in general. I genuinely appreciate the community that we have built so far, and I love the fact that we have actually grown accustomed to having a community of positivity, growth, and self-actualization. Yesterday's Legendary Quickie let me know that I can actually dabble into philosophical topics with you guys, and you genuinely like that kind of stuff too. So I will be talking a lot more about my thoughts on philosophy and the books that I'm actually creating, so I genuinely appreciate the support and love that you guys have shown me so far. And without further ado, let's just jump right into the yapping. So first and foremost, my resolve and my work ethic. Those have actually significantly increased because I actually was able to create a consistent work routine for myself. So at the very least, I can put forward a conscious effort to actually make content daily for you guys. Whether that be Legendary Quickies, or actual full-on Let's Play content, or even story times. So a video that I'm actually working on right now is a Balloons Tower Defense video that I want to upload tomorrow. It's about the importance of simping, and I'm not going to explain further than that because I think it's just funny to leave people hanging sometimes. But aside from that, as far as my GED studies, which is a concept that I've actually been talking about a lot recently, I've really just been meandering in this weird gray area of not knowing what to study and when to study it. So what I ended up doing was, which is realistically why I created this daily routine schedule for myself anyway, so I can actually keep more consistent with what I'm studying, when I'm studying, and how often am I studying, and what skills am I studying each week. I think when I finish doing this, I'm actually going to go out and buy a calendar so I can put that on the door, because lately we've been having trouble keeping track of the days of the week, whether we are on Thursday or Friday or Saturday, or whether it's the 26th or the 1st of the month. So realistically, we need to have a steady routine, consistent skill building habits, so that we can actually move forward with the goals that we actually set forward for ourselves. The schedule that I've created is like this. I wake up every morning at 7 a.m., I take my medication, eat a light breakfast, take a shower, and then I do my math drills for like 15 to 20 minutes. Multiplication, long division, addition, subtraction, and finally conversions, whether that be converting fractions to decimals, decimals to percentages, percentages to fractions, all that other good, lovely, jubbly jazz stuff. And then after that, we head out to physical therapy. I do physical therapy from 8:30 to 9:15, I believe, which is like 45 minutes, I think. Then we transition to the coffee shop at 9:30. I spend 2 hours and 30 minutes working on any videos that I feel like I need to get done. That day's LQ video, or the freaking Legends Play video, or the story time that I want to work on for that month. And then after that, I spend 2.5 hours doing my GED studies. And I split up my GED studies as math and science one day, and then the next day ELA and social studies, because realistically, looking at ELA and social studies, those are literally, quote, can you read, nigga, unquote, the test. Then we get home at 1 p.m., then I shower, have some lunch, schedule some videos to upload, and then at 2:30, we have some skill workshopping sessions for either coding or art or Spanish. Then we have 4:30 being freedom, where I can just do whatever I want to, whether that be working on another LQ, gaming, walking around, just basically creative freedom to do whatever I want. Then we have 6 p.m. where I eat dinner, and then 10 p.m. where I go to sleep. At the very least, this gives my brain something to latch onto that I can consistently do that makes it so that I don't get lost, or at the very least, I know what grounds me in these specific set key points, so I don't just meander off and just do random stupid shit. Because with my ADHD brain, I really need corralling sometimes, like a fucking lost sheep wandering off into nothingness doing fuck knows what. And I believe that Saturday should be the cleaning day for like actual general clutter, like taking out the garbage, cleaning up the floor, and Sunday should be clothes cleaning, like fabric cleaning day. So for me and my wife's clothes, like the bedding, the freaking sheets, cleaning the carpet, that type of stuff. because I really do need to clean up my room. I'm not going to show you a picture because my wife gets embarrassed with how this room looks sometimes, because I sometimes just have a habit of putting things down instead of putting things away. But the problem is I don't have a place to put them away in, but to buy something to put them away in would spend more money, thereby compounding the financial troubles that we already have, meaning we're going to be spending money on some shit that we don't really fucking need to be spending money on in the first place, like some fucking end tables. And even then, if we spend money on the end tables, they're just going to clutter up everything in the first fucking place, because we don't really have that much room in a fucking 12 by 12 box, you know? But it's whatever. We basically deal with what we got, and we just, in the words of a legendary person, fuck it, we ball. Now, I have gotten my first video age restricted, and you've seen me rant and rave about that whole thing, but honestly, I'm not even going to change my language, and I'm not even going to start censoring myself, because YouTube used to be a platform where you can get monetized for saying whatever the hell you wanted to, and we kind of really need to stop letting advertisers do that to us and let them like control whatever it is that we say and whatever it is that we do, because this is a genuine problem that we're having in this current economy. Advertisers and corporations have way too much control over what we say, what we do, what we watch, and there's not really a check and balance system that is actually in place for these freaking companies and for these things to not freaking regulate what we do in our own day-to-day lives based on what the creative people in our freaking lives or in our forms of entertainment and media want to portray. So instead of saying things like death and die, we have to say things like unalive. And whenever there's something serious that needs to be talked about, like rape, we have to say things like SA. And that's not really good, because it takes the emotional weight away from the words, making it so that we sanitize our language, making it more quote-unquote advertiser friendly. And that's not really good. It's not good at all. And I've been thinking as of recently that there is something that we can actually do in order to mitigate the effects that these corporations have, and there's actually an active form of protest that we can do as a community and as a society that would actually affect these companies more than any freaking boycott would, more than any other freaking not buying their products would, because a corporation can easily just ignore somebody not buying their products. A corporation can easily just close the blinds if somebody's picketing outside of their place of business. But a form of protest that I really think that we should probably look into and get behind is dedicated stock drops. Dedicated stock drops, not for the sake of market manipulation, but for the sake of principle and freaking moral ideology. Because if you're doing it so that a company will so if somebody tells like a bunch of people to drop a stock because, oh, I don't think that this is going to be worth anything, that's market manipulation, and people should really be wary of that, because that is... What the fuck are you doing? Sorry, my cat was just being really fucking weird. I don't know what the hell is my cat's problem, but she's just fucking... I think she has zoomies or whatever the fuck that is usually. But like I was saying, if an individual person says some shit like, oh, drop this stock because it's not going to be worth anything pretty soon, then that's market manipulation, and that can easily get somebody sued. But if I come out and say, hey, I'm going to my financial advisors and I'm going to the management firm that is in charge of my 401k, and I'm going to inform them that, hey, my 401k is not to be spent on anything involving this corporation because I believe that they do this, and I make that publicly known that I am dropping their stock, not because I want to like freaking financially manipulate the stock price, but simply due to the fact that my cat's being really fucking weird, but simply due to the fact that I do not like agree with their like business practices, and I do not want my money going to support that company. That is actually a valid form of that is actually a valid freaking thing to do, and it should be encouraged for people to do that, because I'm doing that with fucking Micron, because you're not going to fuck over the entire PC building community and think that you're just going to continue doing that on my dime. Fuck you. No, we're not doing that. So I literally told my freaking financial advisor, not my financial advisor, my stockbroker over with my bank, because I have an investment account with them. I told my freaking stockbroker, hey, do not give any money to Micron. Do not like invest any stock into anything involving Micron or Google or any of these other companies, because I do not want to freaking support their anti-consumerist practices and their incessant need to basically build a Tower of Babel on this fucking AI shaky ass foundation, because I'm not doing that. That's not where my money is going. I do not trust that fucking pillar, because that pillar is going to fucking collapse really fucking soon, and I do not want to be under it when it does. And people should really do financial protests like that, because you can legally tell corporations, hey, this is a free market and you are more than welcome to do whatever the hell you want with your own corporation, because you own it. It is 100% your corporation, but I am an investor and you're not going to do it, and you're not going to do that on my fucking dime. Hell no. And I feel like if people got together and did that more often, there wouldn't be these corporations doing massively freaking underhanded things, or things that are just incredibly anti-consumer. And this is just incredibly like fucking bleak and just all around bad. But I genuinely feel like this kind of thing could indeed like send this type of stuff on an uptick to actually benefit the consumers more. The retail investor market should actually start doing these things as a form of protest, or at the very least, put out bounties, put out freaking stock bounties. Hell, I'm willing to put out a stock bounty right now. The first company that says that they're freaking investing in increasing RAM production, I have about $5,000 that I'm willing to invest in that company. Like, I will buy $5,000 worth of your stock if that company is willing to do that. And I hope to God that there are other content creators that are willing to say that same fucking thing. And honestly, blast this message out to as many people as possible. Send this tweet out. Send out a tweet saying, "Hey, hey, freaking, at whatever the fuck, not even at whatever, basically say, at LilSauceLegend says he wants to invest $5K to whatever company invests in freaking RAM production." Like, and I guarantee you, if enough people start saying, hey, I'm willing to do the same thing as LilSauceLegend, I'm willing to freaking invest 5 bands too. I'm willing to invest 5 bands. I'm willing to invest 5 bands too. If we get a shit ton of people saying they're willing to invest $5,000 or more, or even like $30 or $40, that would completely trounce the amount of money that they would be getting from their freaking shareholders who have like freaking thousands of dollars invested into their company. That's like new blood, and that's new money, and there is no way a corporation would fucking ignore that. But all of the political stuff aside, let's get into other stuff. Now, what did I get for Christmas? My wife got me all of these little mini swords, and I really think that they're extremely cute. And for the longest time, I haven't known exactly what to do with these mini swords, but I saw something on Pinterest that actually sparked my creativity, and I'm actually going to put it into practice. So I bought a little mini freaking picture frame. I bought a picture frame, right? And I'm going to like take some suede or some kind of fabric-like material and put it in the back of this picture frame on top of some corkboard, and then basically pin the hilts of these swords into this picture frame, into like a little like freaking sword in the stone kind of scene, or at the very least put on the freaking suede some kind of design that lets it look like, oh, this is like a freaking battlefield that was ravaged, and all of these swords were left behind by the warriors that were fallen in this entire landscape. I will take a picture of this and I will upload it to Instagram. I will upload it to Instagram when I finally do it, because I genuinely think that this is a cool fucking idea for a picture frame. And I guarantee you, you will think that this is really fucking cool looking. You can actually follow me on Instagram at instagram.com/LilSauceLegend. That is instagram.com/LilSauceLegend. Yeah, that's my handle. So yeah, instagram.com/LilSauceLegend if you want to see that once it's finally posted. I also post other funny stuff there too. But including my cat in this conversation, I genuinely feel like I need to get her some pet insurance, because if I don't know how I'm going to be able to take her to the vet, because she still hasn't gone to the vet to this day. I'm going to be honest with you. I am a bad cat dad, because she still hasn't gone to the vet to this very day, because I don't know where a veterinarian is that is, number one, affordable, and number two, is like I don't know how she'll respond being taken out of the house. I don't want her to get like stressed out and start panicking and stuff. But at the same time, I know that she needs to go to the vet in order to like get treatment and stuff like that, or at the very least get looked at, get a full checkup, see if she's all right, see if she's actually doing see if there's anything wrong with her physically. I know she needs to get checkups, and I know that she needs to go to the vet, but I don't know how she'll respond. But I think I just need to bite the bullet and take her to the vet, get a cat cage, get a cat carrier, with wheels or something, so she can, so it can be like a very smooth ride for her, so she's not fucking panicking 90% of the time. Or at the very least, get her used to being in the cat carrier, even when she's not going to the vet, so that she automatically doesn't assume the fact that the thing is being brought out with going to the vet. So I think I should basically put catnip in it on the regular, or at the very least her cat bed in the cat carrier, and have her continuously walk in and out of it so she can get accustomed to being put in there. So whenever we do take her to the vet, when we do find a vet, she doesn't freak the fuck out. I don't even know how old my cat is. I basically just took ownership of her when she was a little kitten, because my sister brought her home and they thought that she was going to be a mouse hunter, but realistically she is incredibly shy. She is incredibly shy and skittish, and she was not going to be up to that task, and they were thinking about getting rid of her, and I was just like, nah, I got her. This little baby's mine, because I don't want to see her potentially getting rehomed and going to some dangerous motherfuckers where they're going to just fucking scare the shit out of her and torture her or some shit like that. So I basically took up the mantle and took up the ownership of this little bugger. I post pictures of her every Friday on Instagram, actually. So if you want to see what the little bean looks like, she's a little shit, but she's adorable. She's my daughter, and she hears me talking about her. Yes, you, Stinky. Yes, you. Hi, Stinky. Hi. But yeah, I think that is more or less what I wanted to talk about during this video. So I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me through the good times and through the bad. Let's move forward throughout the rest of this year with optimism, understanding, and trust as we brave through this monotony of weird circumstances known as life. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, then hit that like button. If you want to watch more content like this in the future, then hit that subscribe button. And also hit that little notification bell so you can stay up to date on all the things that I do in the future. And as always, this is your boy LilSauceLegend telling all y'all to stay saucy.